smells like 90s rock. It is Hot Toddy flying solo tonight and throwing shade at Sheila and DJ Pork. That's not a 90s reference, but I'm using it. It's today's reference. I'm using it because DJ Pork, I know he was out this week because he had family stuff to attend, but Sheila, more than likely, still asleep at this point. I don't want to hear it because, well, we'll get into this. I've been out of town all week long. My family and I went to Universal Studios in Orlando on Tuesday. Flew down there. Originally was supposed to take off on a flight at 8 in the morning. Got delayed 4 times due to weather down there, so we didn't leave till noon. Didn't get down there till 4. That was supposed to be a full day at the park, and we ended up not being able to go into the park that night because, well, we were all just tired, and it was pretty much too late at that point. So we actually got our money back on a 3-day park pass, which was good. So we narrowed it down to 2 parks in 2 days, 3 parks in 2 days, and boy, we walked our asses off. That's an understatement. For 2 solid days, we toured Universal Studios and just did a little bit of everything, and it was a fun trip. It was a lot of fun. But before we get into talking about Universal, I want to say Sheila not here tonight. But I was in Florida as of 4 a.m. this morning. Woke up at 4 a.m. this morning in our hotel room, was at the airport by 5 o'clock, took off on a 6:50 flight, was back in Knoxville by 8:30, and I've been just going in and out of consciousness for the last 12 or 13 or so hours, and I still made it in. After all of that we did today, still made it in to do this show tonight. So that's dedication to this show. I think I owe myself a round of applause, which I'm going to give myself. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So there you go. But anyway, we're back now, and what a trip it was. It was a lot of fun. If you've never been to Universal Studios, it's of course 2 different parks: Universal and Islands of Adventure, and Harry Potter World. Harry Potter World is split between the 2 parks. There's some at Islands and there's some at Universal, and it's just a really fun place to go if you've never been there before. Some of the rides that we rode the new. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you know what this is. Green Gots. They have a ride out of the Green Gots. Now, what Green Gots is, it's like a bank in the wizarding world of Harry Potter. And so in the last movie, there's this whole hullabaloo where they're trying to get a Horcrux, which is one of the devices that would kill Lord Voldemort, one of the bad guys in the film. And that's the whole premise, is that you're going through the bank and trying to find all this. It's a pretty fun ride. It wasn't what I was expecting. We were all kind of expecting like a roller coaster type thing. It's not. It's one of those where you sit in a seat and you're moving around the building, and you periodically will come in front of a screen and something will happen on the screen, and it's all 3D. But I mean, it's a great ride. It's fun. It's fine. Check it out. Just to say at least that you rode it. It's a pretty good ride. We also did the Hogwarts Express. We actually rode that, which is pretty cool. It goes in between the 2 parks, so that was really neat. So Harry Potter World's got a lot to it. I mean, it's a complete replica of the movie, so I highly recommend it. Go check that out if you ever get the opportunity to go to Universal Orlando. In addition to Harry Potter, though, at Universal Studios, we rode some other pretty awesome rides. What else did we ride? We rode, this is what I was telling Henry of the 80s Rock Off earlier tonight, that this was probably the best ride that they have out there right now at the Universal side. Maybe not Islands of Adventure, but on the Universal side, this is the best ride they have so far, is Jimmy Fallon's ride. Jimmy Fallon has his own sit in a seat and you're facing a screen and you're moving along to the movie type ride there called Race Through New York. And it's actually really cool. It incorporates a lot of things with the Tonight Show. And it's just a lot of fun. You're racing him and like these little race cars, and you're just crashing into everything in New York, and it's funny. And you run into some of his silly characters that he does periodically throughout the race, and then but what I think was most impressive to me was the fact that the building that houses this ride is a complete replica of 30 Rockefeller Center, where the Tonight Show is done. And his studios, completely replica of his studio. So you see all this Tonight Show history, and I'm into that. I'm big in history. I'm big on history, as you know, if you've listened to the show periodically. I love history, but I also love television history a lot, too. And so, Johnny Carson, Jack Parr, Jay Leno, everybody who's hosted The Tonight Show, Conan, of course, he was there for a while. All of that's there. You can read all about it and learn all about it in this ride, and so it's just really cool. So, but the ride was fun, too, and it's a really, really, really awesome 3D special effects. You can always tell when a new ride comes in and new special effects come in how modern technology is getting, and it's really cool. So I think that is the best ride they got out there right now. But that may come into second place to the Rip Rocket If you've never ridden that, it is one of the craziest and I think probably the longest roller coaster I've ever been on. It takes most roller coasters like a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. This was a solid 3 to 4 minutes. You're just going up and down loops. You start out by going straight up, 90-degree angle. You're on your back going up a hill, and then you just go straight down. I love that ride, but it will. I mean, if you're not prepared for it, you're just not prepared for it. It's a crazy ride. But I've always enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. So if you're going to Universal Studios, definitely ride the Jimmy Fallon ride and the Rip Rocket, and also the Mummy. The Mummy is a really fun ride, too. It's based on the old Mummy movies that Brendan Fraser did, not this new, terrible new one. I wish DJ Pork was here so we could talk a little bit about the new Mummy. I've not seen it, but I know the reviews are in, and they are not good. And so everybody's been asking, hey, if you're going to do, because they're doing a cinematic universe with the Universal Horror Monsters, if you're going to do that, why not just piggyback off the Brendan Fraser ones? That was my question, but what are you going to do? But anyway, this Mummy ride is based on that. So it's an indoor roller coaster, a lot of fun. Talk again, special effects. You talk about some good special effects. That ride has them for sure. So, and it's just a lot of loops, twists, and turns. It's a really fun ride. So I highly recommend it if you're going to Universal. Check out these 3 rides. Check out the 4 rides. Gringotts on the Harry Potter side in the Universal. Race Through New York. With Jimmy Fallon, Rip Rocket, I forget, there's a full name to it, but I can't remember, but Rip Rocket is where you're going with that, and the Mummy. I think those are the top rides at Universal for you to check out, so definitely check those out.